Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting episode of Trendz. My name is Selepa Maifadi and I will be holding it down for the next 60 minutes, giving you the latest arts and entertainment news in and around our continent. Please follow and interact with us on @Trendz on SABC. We would love to hear your views on today's show. This week started on a very sad note with the passing of one of South Africa's music giants, Ntate Hugh Masekela. The entertainment industry took a blow this week with more sad news. One of the long-standing actors on television, Sandy Mokoena, passed away on Wednesday. The Trendz team would like to send condolences to their families, friends, colleagues, and fans. He was someone who made music both a weapon against apartheid, but also as a mechanism to help South Africans cope with its injustice. So says the former Deputy President, Phumzile Mng'ambo after the passing of Afro-jazz legend Hugh Masekela. The late trumpeter was a regular visitor to the United States, and in one of his final shows there was among a star-studded lineup of performed during the International Jazz Day concert hosted at the White House.
It's a great honor to introduce a man who, in a 6-decade career, has used his instrument to create songs of protest that gave voice to an entire nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Hugh Masekela.
Introduced by Sting, performing the iconic Bring Him Back Home, and hosted by former President Barack and First Lady Michelle Obama.
I want to see him walking down the streets of South Africa.
He was a legend, someone who made music both a weapon to fight apartheid, but also a mechanism to help us cope as South Africans, because we enjoyed and we loved his music. We will also remember him as a role model for many musicians that came after him, who embraced both the art and purpose and the fight for a better South Africa.
Hugh was a regular in the Big Apple, seen here performing alongside Stevie Wonder at the inaugural International Jazz Day concert in the UN General Assembly in 2012. And then in 2014, when he visited to celebrate South Africa's 20th anniversary of political freedom, and this performance at Carnegie Hall. I also sat down with Hugh when he celebrated his 75th birthday in New York.
We're lucky that we had so much solidarity and that music was a catalyst, but sometimes people think that activism against injustice is the work of maybe liberation movements and artists, but it's the work of everybody. And again, it was the people who freed us in South Africa, because without them, all the music and all the liberation moves didn't mean anything. It was the people who made South Africa ungovernable.
Simon Rentner is the host and producer of the Checkout on New York's Jazz Public Radio WBGO, and the organizer of last year's Jazz Epistles reunion with Abdullah Ibrahim, that saw Hugh pull out after suffering a fall during a performance in Morocco.
It was going to be an absolutely historic reunion because, in my estimation, it was one of the most important jazz bands of the 20th century, and getting these two icons in music in the world, not just South Africa, together again for the first time in 50 years. We were this close, but yes, life gets in the way sometimes.
He says he was shocked by the news of Masekela's passing, but that his legacy is unequivocal.
I know Hugh Masekela would want the world to know that jazz was African first, not African American, but African with the emphasis on African, which was contrary to American belief and opinion. And the more that I learn about the music jazz, I tend to agree with him. Jazz is African, and Americans should reframe our way of thinking about this.
He was loved around the world. He never stopped talking about his love for South Africa. We will know that when he came to play here in New York, so many friends came to listen to him, people he went to school with, people he played with, and there was always a party with a purpose.
I asked her what Hugh's main lesson to us would be, so soon after the passing of Professor Keorapitsi Hositsile.
We should embrace excellence. We should shy away from mediocrity. These giants represent the best of who we can be as South Africans.
And this personal anecdote to a life well lived.
Nobody would give me a gig. And I came up with the hybrid that I came up with, which is like really based on like traditional South African big band dance music and heritage music, and it caught on. And I've been very fortunate. I've seen the whole world. I've been able to make a living at what I do, and I've been able to make a living talking about the people I come from, you know, and the legacy they gave me. Because the music I play, I couldn't be able to play if I came from Japan. I probably would be a sushi chef.
Tributes have been pouring in all week after the news of the trumpeter was announced. He died at the age of 78 after a battle with cancer. We're joined by jazz compiler and producer Nothemba Madumo and music maestro Ntata Hot Sticks Mabuse, all here to tell us about the experiences they shared with the fallen giant. Welcome to Trendz.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So he has been in the industry for over 60 years. So in that 6 decades, when did your paths collide with his life?
Well, I've known Bra Hugh for almost 40 years. Well, 40 years to be precise. And then ever since then, you know, our paths have crossed everywhere. New York, London, Russia, South Africa, everywhere. You know, with Botswana, Zimbabwe, everywhere he'd been. You know, I've been privileged enough to actually meet, find, play with him, do things with him, do things for him, and him doing things for me.
You've produced music with him as well. How did it work in studio? So you rock up, everybody has their instruments, and we go with the flow, or we write the songs before we start doing the music? How do we go about it?
Are you asking how do we make music? Or how did we make
yes,
music
how
with him?
did you make music with him? Because I'm sure it must have been a special moment.
Well, you know, once you've known someone for years, you understand where their mind is at and which direction they prefer the music to go. And I was recording an album in Brussels with Miriam, so obviously for me, there were certain things that I wanted to do regarding wind instruments. And Hugh was the first person that I would call, and I called him, and he came to Brussels, where we did Miriam's album, and okay, yeah, and he played some solos on certain albums, and one of the things that he would say to me after playing, he said, "Hey, Isani, you're a slave driver. You make my lips, you played my lips to the pulp, you know." I said, "Bro, Hugh, I didn't realize you get tired too out of playing."
And I read somewhere that when he was young, he was somewhat of a problem child because he was a bit naughty. So he asked for a trumpet from Trevor Huddleston, and he made sure that he gets that. And that's how he actually started out in the career. So for you and working together with those instruments, how do you think it was back in the day to introduce such a classical instrument into music?
Well, I think it's we have to make it clear that I am a generation after, you know, so that whole historic period where he acquired trumpet through Father Huddleston is something that people like Caiaphas, Gwangwa would be able to articulate better. I can only speak about the period when he was already this world-renowned musician. And I think also the privilege of Hugh having been a cousin to a band member made it easier for us to interact with him, because we were supposed to go and join him in America to play with him, but unfortunately then Selby died and the whole trip was called off. Yeah.
So for Wena Nothemba, how was it when, as a jazz compiler, when did you fall in love with his music?
Well, I mean, I was introduced to his music when, you know, when I was very young. My parents used to play his music at home when we used to live in Swaziland. So,
in exile.
So obviously when I started out on radio, then I got to meet him as well. And I was fortunate enough that I even got to be his friend. So I got to know a lot about him. I got to know a lot about, obviously, his philosophy on life, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard over this past week, as everybody has been paying tribute to the fact that he was so much of a person who wanted us to be authentic and sell ourselves to the world, which is what exactly made him successful around the world up to the age that he died.
But obviously, for your show, there has to be those favorites that you know that you have to somehow sneak it into your playlist. What song would it be?
Oh no, there isn't one particular one. Actually, tomorrow on my show, I'm doing the whole 3 hours paying tribute to him, and I've been this whole week I've been struggling to select should I put this one in, should I take this one out? So I'm trying to play some songs that a lot of people have never heard as well of Hugh Masekela. There's just the normal popular ones, so I'm trying to expose him to what else he was musically. And also on my show, I've got a whole lot of musicians, local and international, paying tribute to him. So in terms of a favorite, I don't know, I'd like one today, tomorrow I'd like another, so listen to my show tomorrow, you'll know.
Okay, we'll certainly be tuning in.
Yeah.
Do you remember, do you recollect the last time you were in his presence?
Me? I actually, the last time I spoke to him on the phone, and this is just the day before he had his last eye operation, and I was saying to him, I'm coming to see him in hospital, and he was saying, okay, you are going to see me, and I'm telling you I'm having an eye operation. It's going to be closed. How am I going to see you?
Had a joker.
Yeah, he was like funny. That. He was so funny. He was witty.
Self-effacing as well.
Oh, he was just fun.
Do you remember the moment?
Well, it was, I guess, about the same time. But I think I saw him when he had done his first operation. It's Sibongile Khumalo's 50th? Was it the 50th birthday?
Let's make make it 50.
It was a 50th birthday, and that's when, I hadn't seen him for a while, but we subsequently been talking on the phone, and also I had met him before Edward Johnny Mekwa's funeral, and we'd been talking, and he had intimated to me that, he wasn't well, but then he wasn't out, or he didn't indicate to me that it was that serious, and then subsequently we just gave him a break as he had requested until we heard the news.
So sad. And well, today you have your instrument here with us, and I know you're going to do a special rendition for us. So I think what do you have for us today? Which song are you going to do?
I'll play it when I'm on there.
No, but you're going to do the performance from here, because I think we're going to go to break after this.
I'll choose it when I'm when I'm performing.
You're performing it here?
Yes, you're performing it right here.
Oh, wow.
Now.
And do I play this sitting down?
Don't ask questions, play.
How do you do that? You see, that's what I have to do first.
Okay. Wow. That was beautiful. What is that song titled? Oh, okay.
It's a traditional song that my mother used to love so much. And I think a lot of people love that song as well. So it's a song that few under any circumstances would be around. And if he was here, I'm sure he would have taken the horn to join me. Yeah.
Well, that was Ntate Hot Sticks Mabusa and Natemba Madumo here with us in studio. Thank you so much for coming to Trendz.
It's a pleasure.
Thank
All right,
you.
we're going to take a
Thank you,
quick break. We'll be back. Something Soweto's got something special for us. See you after this.
So the issue of waves is that don't underestimate yourself. You are exactly the cornerstone of the solutions we are looking for.
To go and intervene and make sure that people respect the Constitution.
Now, if drug dealers are paying political leaders, then you will never get rid of that problem.
We need to see detail that we will not see further bailouts.
Fidel, a towering figure of the 20th century.
Stay tuned to PM News for all your news updates every Saturday and Sunday from 1500 hours.
Violence against women, it also talks to such behavior where teachers, instead of educating kids and give them dignity, they strip them of their dignity.
The First Lady.
The First Lady, her action, it's just unacceptable. I must say that it cannot be condoned. If I had it my way, I would say we had to act and make sure that he goes to jail.
This scourge is not ceasing.
The angry people, the intolerant, it's so huge. So then the scourge finds itself within that particular environment. You cannot say that it's a standalone. It's influenced by social ills, economic challenges.
Join me in Port Said live every Monday to Thursday at 17:30.
season Angi Zoya Guitar Handasin Tawamina Votumona Tawamina Gesiseni Ahogi Zoya Guitar Handasin Tawamina Votumona Tawamina Gesiseni Angi Zoya Guitar Handasin It's a
That was a beautiful tribute performance by Something Soweto. He did a song by Hugh Masekela called Tumamina. Now we bring you an update of what our local and international celebrities got up to this week. Let's take a look.
Having dominated charts and dance floors across South Africa for several months, Gqom sensation Destruction Boys are spreading their wings internationally with upcoming shows in the UK, Canada and Europe. The group will perform at the prestigious Sona Music Festival in Barcelona in June after they were recommended by US music producer Diplo.
Y'all know what it is. Katy Perry.
Pop icon Katy Perry recently announced that she will be adding a South African leg to her Witness tour, which began in North America last September. This is the first time that Mzansi will get to see the singer perform live. The announcement follows the success of the tour in the Americas and will see the pop star hitting South African stages in July this year.
But Grandma, what a lovely, great big furry coat you have on.
You think you know these stories? You don't.
South Africa scored an Oscar nomination at the 90th Academy Awards for the latest animation film from Triggerfish, Revolting Rhymes. The nomination falls in the category for Best Animated Short Film. The film is an adaptation of Roald Dahl and Quentin Blake's classic book of fairy tales. Johannesburg audiences will be able to see Revolting Rhymes at the Bioscope in Maboneng on 16th February. Meryl Streep has joined the cast for season 2 of HBO's drama Big Little Lies, starring Nicole Kidman, Shailene Woodley and Reese Witherspoon. The news comes hot on the heels of Streep's latest Oscar nomination in Steven Spielberg's The Post. With the nomination, Streep broke her own record for the most Oscar acting nominations, bringing her total number of nods to 21.
Another One's Bread is a dark comedy theatre production written by Mike van Graan and directed by Pamela Nomvete, opened at the Market Theatre in Johannesburg earlier this month. Commissioned by the Centre of Excellence in Food Insecurity in Cape Town, the play seeks to explore issues that are related to hunger and food insecurity. Let's take a look.
Here we go. Substitutes, coffin, people. Let's go. 1, 2. Amazing.
Set in Khayelitsha, this theatre production addresses real bread and butter issues. Played out by 4 women, Another One's Bread makes light of funerals and feeding schemes, subject matters that are generally considered taboo.
This woman came to our house. This woman with a little...
The role of these women in this play is a strange one. They are hired to fill up numbers at funerals just in case mourners don't turn up.
In terms of our show, because it's, we mourners, we go to funerals every time. I mean, if you go now, if to the townships, there's funerals, like if you go to like the grave sites every Saturday, there's like multiple funerals happening, at the same time. And there's a lot of people. So we have a lot of people going to funerals. I have an aunt, actually I was telling the guys when we were rehearsing, I have an aunt who goes to a funeral every single weekend.
The production was commissioned by the Centre of Excellence in Food Security, and food security it's essentially, if we want to unpack it, it's essentially a fancy word for people who study hunger and hunger trends. And so that was the main thing, the main reason why the production came about was for for the theme of food security to be explored.
Food insecurity is the main highlight of this play. A sensitive subject, but played out in a comical manner.
We talk about parliamentarians. We talk about Oscar Pistorius' story. Which side are you on? You know, so it also it teaches critical thinking. But because of some things affect other audience members more than others, others laugh when others don't, and there's a question there. So there's an uneasy feeling in the theatre almost all the time, where there's a part where people laugh when we're talking about parliamentarians and how they're eating, because that's greed basically. That's food also, you know.
Most things that are said on those specific subjects, it's things that ordinary people would not say. They're scared of saying them, you know. Yes, we know the statistics, but we wouldn't say them, you know. We can't just talk about those issues. Girls stealing sanitary towels. We don't talk about them. We just like on Facebook the campaigns, but we don't talk about them. So when we do speak about, when these women speak about it, we're like, you know.
You don't think I'm going to go to court? La vie! If I don't have the money in my account, Ultra, you can just say hello to the bloody sheriff for me!
What stands out about this play is how the characters of Brenda and Andiswa go all out to provide for their community. Brenda steals sanitary pads instead of sweets, while Andiswa works as an estate agent determined to help black people buy houses in nicer areas that have traditionally excluded them. Another one's bread will run at the Market Theatre until February the 4th.
We survive because of each other and for each other. Your aunt is trying to do something new here. Best we can do is to support it, especially if we can't do better ourselves.
That was a really deep one with chief mourners all over the place. So now the inaugural recipient of the Sophie Mgcina Award, Lulu Mlangeni, is here with us in studio to talk about her dance piece titled Confined, which is currently taking place at the Market Theatre. The dance production is inspired by the life of political stalwart Winnie Madikizela Mandela, who is affectionately known as Mama Winnie. In Confined, Lulu celebrates women who have endured discrimination, hardships in their lives, and women who inspire and provide optimism about the future. Welcome to Trendz, Lulu.
Thank you for having me.
Hey girl, how you doing? Woo.
Doing okay.
The show was so amazing. So I got a glimpse of it last night, the preview screening, and it was really so moving. I mean, there was no official lyrics. It's like it had that a cappella vibe to it. So many mediums. Tell us a bit about how you combined all those elements together to make that beautiful piece.
Well, it comes with a lot of preparations, of course. I mean, with the fact that we had only like 3 weeks to put everything together, which is never a problem anyway. But, you know, time is needed most importantly when you have to create such a big production, especially if it's more than an hour. You know, I had to really think about it, especially having to use a monologue, which I've never used in any of my productions, and also using a live band, which is hard because, you know, they constantly grow. Things constantly change as well. So those are the things that I look at, and also giving an opportunity to the entire team as performers. You know, it might be my production, I might have conceptualized and directed and choreographed it, but it's a teamwork actually.
Tell us a bit about the people that you are collaborating with in this piece.
Collaborating with iComplete. These guys, I started working with them I think 2008 when we were creating Songs of Migration with Brahu Masigela and Sibongile Khumalo. So I've been working with them since then, and also they are a big part of Vuyani Dance Theatre family because they do quite a lot of work with us and a lot of collaborations. Yeah.
So the style, let's talk a bit about the style in the piece, because at some point, you know, because it addresses a lot of issues about abuse, right? And there were strings, like you were pulled here and there. Tell us about the elements that you've included, the props that you have in there, and what they signify.
It's not only about abuse or no social violence, but also it's about patriarchy, it's about dictatorship, it's about power. And that's exactly what's happening in this world at the moment. And also looking at the state of where we are as South Africans, you know, I feel that we as women are actually being confined. You know, we've got nowhere to go, we've got no one to protect us. So that's basically the direction that it's taking.
And where does Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela fit into the story?
The story is not about her, hence I said it is inspired by her. And also, I think also it's because of I read the book 491 Days, which actually propelled me to actually take that direction. So, yeah.
And how are people taking dance on theatre stages, especially for a female to be leading such a big production?
It's still a bit of a challenge because, I mean, this is the industry that I'm in, it's male dominated. And we're trying by all means to voice out whatever that we want to say, to push, you know, to push boundaries. We still have a long way, I believe, but we are slowly getting there. And I mean, you just spoke about someone else's braid, which was directed by Pamela Nomvete, and Pamela Nomvete is a woman, you know, and I like the fact that the Market Theatre are actually allowing women or giving us the platform to present our works, and yeah.
So this play is taking place at the Market Theatre. It's still previewing, starting on the 31st and ending when? On the 4th?
So it opened last night. Yes. That we had the first preview. It's running until the 4th of February. The official opening, it's on the 31st.
Okay, and what do you want people to take from that production after they see it?
The famous question.
Of course.
I never really want to confine people using the confine. I want the viewers to come in there and take whatever that they want to take within the piece. You know, I don't want to box anyone, don't want to dictate things to anyone who's coming to watch the show. So they must just come in and enjoy.
So you'll be giving us a snippet of this production just after the break. So yeah, don't go anywhere because Lulu's about to take you to another place, I promise you. Stay tuned.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much indeed for choosing Morning Live.
But I want to know the basic thing.
Griselda Lewis, SABC News, in Parktown, Johannesburg.
Zimbabwe, Mzwandile Mbeje, SABC News, Luanda, Angola.
Let's take a look at your market indicators.
Thanks for staying with Morning Live. Let's bring you your sports news.
Let's take a look at your satellite image.
Set the agenda for the day with Morning Live.
This mind is a maze of thoughts. Like magnets, they draw into a small, dark corridor. Move right, left, middle, parallel, circulate perpendicular to the floor. Lost? No, shift up, go down. These walls become narrower. Markings, engravings, here, there, everywhere, somewhere. Walls, boundaries, lost, no. Stagnant, no. Lost, no. Stagnant, no. Moving like liquid, seep through the smallest crack. Maze complete? No. Dead end. Tightened is the mind that has been drawn into it, shut into an electric world where my neurotransmitters refuse to halt. Sparks, shots, sparks, shots, they ignite a light in my head. Thought, fight. Thought, fight. Thought, fight. Thought, fight. Thought, now are fought in an infinite fight. External stimuli, pull, tug, suppress, stop. They propel an inner fight. Laugh, smirk, straight face, blank. Laugh, smirk, straight face, blank. Laugh, smirk, straight face, blank. Straight face, blank. Glitch, twitch, tremble, explode!
So amazing. What did I tell you? I told you guys that was so amazing. That is currently running at the Market Theatre. The piece is called Confined at the Barney Simon. Yes, at the Barney Simon piece is called Confined, taking place at the Market Theatre all the way until the 4th of February. Please go and check it out. Wellness is at the forefront this year for us here at Trendz. Nadia Patton, Adams Patton and I kickstarted our wellness series with a 10-day Eliminate Cleanse by celebrity wellness coach Lisa Raleigh. And as we all know, a well-balanced diet has to go hand in hand with a physical program. Each week, we are taking on new challenges and exploring the trendiest fitness programs that you should definitely take a look at. This week, we're combating our threshold for both endurance and strength with media personality Mika Stefano. Let's take a look.
This week, we hit up Sweat 1000 in Burnham, Johannesburg for a fresh workout experience with socialite and blogger Mika Stefano as our instructor. The class is fast-paced and gets your heart pumping in no time. If we thought Stefano was going to take it easy on us, we totally had it wrong. One session will have you torch 1,000 calories, hence the name Sweat 1000. A few of these a week and you'll have that tight booty sooner than you think.
With Sweat 1000, what would you say sets this gym apart from all the other gyms that we have?
Well, the nice thing with this gym is you don't need a membership. You can just walk in if you want to come train. So say if you're on holiday or if you're visiting friends, you don't have to be an actual member of the club. The nice thing with the gym is it's an hour workout. You don't actually have to think about what you're doing. You literally walk in, there's music, there's lights, there's smoke machine. You feel like you're in a nightclub. And then you don't even have to think about like, oh, now I have to go to this section of the gym, or I need to do bicep curls now.
When you joined Sweat 1000, that was like 5 years ago.
That's right.
So what made you get into this whole thing, and why did you pick Sweat 1000 out of all the other gyms that you could have picked?
So for a new person, for me, who didn't really know much about gym, it was a great place to go in. There's a vibe, there's a whole bunch of people, you're all in it together. So you think, oh, I'm gonna die, and then you look to the person next to you and you see they dying, you're like, okay, we're all dying together, but we're gonna finish strong. So yeah, that was my reason of joining Sweat 1000. I started at Sweat 1000, I lost 30 kgs, and then after losing all the weight, I actually just fell in love with fitness. So I was kind of like, let me put the whole celebrity, entertainment, blogging, all of that stuff on the side, and let me focus on something that I actually found really fun, and that was fitness. So I studied with Trifocus Fitness, I did group aerobics, personal training, exercise science, and then I'm now here at Sweat 1000, which is really cool.
The other challenging thing that I find is that being in the entertainment industry, you find that there's so many events, there's so many things to nibble on at a launch or something. How do you stay away from temptation?
It's all about portion control. So you don't want to now go and eat that whole platter, which is meant to feed everyone at the event, and now you're just picking out some of those like chocolatey eclairs. So all about portion control. Have one, but then know that, okay, if I'm going to have one, it means that I'm going to have to push a little bit harder at gym tomorrow. Just about portion control. Instead of having a whole plate of Sunday food, have reasonable sizes. Hey, it's Mika Stefano, GP's Gossip Gangster, and now your fitness friend, and you are watching Trendz on SABC.
The annual Kliptown Public Art Festival, also known as the Soweto Pop Art Festival, is currently underway. The event, which focuses on youth as its target market, aims to expose Sowetans to various genres of art forms by turning dull spaces such as streets, taxi ranks and restaurants into theatres of performing art for day and night. The two-day festival ends today, so if you're interested, you can still head out to Pimville, Bata Taxi Rank or Kliptown to experience this explosion of colour. We have Njabulo Zulu, who's the managing director of the festival, here to tell us more about the event. But on the side here, we have a painter who's going to be doing a couple of things, who's also a part of the festival. So we're just going to talk to him in a couple of minutes. But Njabulo, thank you so much for coming through to Trendz.
Thank you so much for having us.
So Soweto Pop Art Festival, tell us a bit about that.
So the initial plan was to bring back the arts into the location, because half the artists come from the location, but they rarely have access to theatre or to see choreographed piece in an auditorium. So we thought of this idea as a way of redeveloping the audience within the location, and we believe that art is a very important tool. So the reason why it's called the Soweto Pop-Up is because for marketing reasons it's more easier to catch, but the initial name is Annual Kliptown Public Art Festival. So the whole point is to give people a chance to see visual artists do it right in front of them, have live music by Mandla Mlange, African Kize. We also have pop-ups that are happening in Vilakazi Street, Paramall, and Kliptown, the monument. So these are just to capture the audience and just introduce them to the arts. And then later on we'll finish everything off at Pinville, Milai and Gags. Those are the two venues. So we've turned that whole street into the festival event. So you can move from Gag to Milai without being stopped.
So how was day one of the festival? I'm assuming you had a seminar, right?
Yes. Day one of the festival went well. There was enough people to capture the information that we wanted to pass over to them. So to help them understand that even though you are an artist, it's still a business. You know, you still need to understand the cost that go behind you painting, the cost that go behind you creating a sculpture, and to have people that have more knowledge, like Abu Putu Mkosi Koniwe, about Putu George Moyo, to help you understand which it's important for you to patent the artwork yako before sending off on social media, because everyone now is on that tip, which I make a painting and I send it off, but somebody else can copy that, and how do you then say this is mine but I own this? And Tim Coates was helping us with the curatorial perspective of things, because he's been in the industry for a while, just parting knowledge. But it all went well. We just ready for today. It's actually happening now. There's a few pop-ups that are supposed to be running right now on the streets.
So how was the turnout? Like, how are people responding to it?
The turnout wasn't as we expected, but there were enough people, because it's very hard to convince people to come to a seminar. It's not something that's engraved malokishini. You need some sort of marketing tool to get people interested in them learning about what they are doing. Because half the time they just spend their time perfecting their crafts. And when you tell them to come and learn, it's a bit of a problem.
So today, if I just get to Soweto, I'll just see it. There'll just be a whole lot of color everywhere.
There will be a lot of color. There will be a lot of excitement. There will be a lot to immerse yourself with art. So even the pieces that were done here is part of the things that we are trying to bring into the scene, you know. Just have it and not have it in a formal setup.
So instead of turn up today, how's about you head out to Soweto and go check out this beautiful festival? That was Njabulo speaking to us about the Soweto Pop Art Festival. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
In initiative to support local South African musicians, Bacardi took over the City of Gold with house party sessions from October last year. These sessions gave some of the freshest artists on the scene a chance to show what they've got alongside some of the biggest names in the industry. The final leg of the house party sessions was Family Tree's female rapper Nadia Nakai, who dropped a banging single late last year with her boss Casper Nyovest. We were invited behind the scenes of that video that was shot and edited in just 2 days. Just in time to debut at her house party sessions, and of course we attended that too. So yeah, here's what went down.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy DJ PH. I'm out here somewhere in the north with the cool kids. Yeah, man, it's a cool party. They're actually changing the culture of house parties. It's not as wild as one would think it is, but it's pretty cool, man. Got all the cool kids around here somewhere. I'm just trying to fit in. But yeah, man, it's pretty cool, you know. Here are the cool kids I'm talking about.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, Champagne 69.
What's on the block, baby? We go about it Champagne 69.
The vibe is amazing. I was even saying on stage that these people here obviously didn't suffer from Januaries. Everybody's good and enjoying their lives in January, which is great. There's an amazing vibe right now. And I love the Bacardi concept, the parties that they have. Everyone knows when there's a Bacardi house party session, the kind of vibe to expect, how to dress, what you're drinking, who you come with. And it's always just, it's a great vibe. I'm very excited for the Bacardi Holiday Club that's happening on the 4th of February. It's going to be so lit. Swiss Beats is coming. We've got Casper Nyovest, myself, a whole bunch of other performers like Frank Casino. And I'm very excited for that one.
This is my second one. I must say that it has gotten bigger and better. The artists, the caliber, I mean, like South African artists have literally brought it up, and I'm actually quite excited that a brand such as Bacardi has actually invested its money in actually showcasing the talent that we have in South Africa.
I got too much on my mind. I can't let that confident.
I'll be dropping music this year. I think that's the main thing I'm focusing more on 2018. And besides eventing and gigs and stuff like that. In my first project, it's all about finding my sound. So once I find my sound, then I'll be able to kind of like path into it. For now, I'm fine with anything right now, you know. So expect anything, actually.
Shout out to the crowd, Bacardi House Party Sessions. It's been going down. It's like my third one. I've been going to them. So yeah, it's been dope. Shout out to Nadia Nakai, her music video, Namin, with Casper, shot by Bacardi and Audi. So it's been a great vibe, and I'm sippy, having a good time.
Nadia Nakai's video was on another level of pure awesomery. It was just like featuring Casper Nyovest. The cinematography was just on another level. It was just beautiful. Her performances as well. Her entire image is just on another level. Like, I can't even find the words to describe it.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nadia Nakai, and you're watching SABC Trendz.
2018 is going to be an amazing year for me because I'm going to make it amazing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of work has been put in already for the year. Some international travel, maybe some international features, you never know. But yeah, man, just a lot of different things. I like doing things out the box. Looking forward to 2018. In fact, to be honest, I'm looking forward to 2019 because the work that I'm putting in for this year is for next year and the years to follow. So yeah. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy DJ PH, and you are watching Trendz right now. Don't tune out, or else me and you, yeah?
If you ask this pretentious mixologist what is needed to make the ultimate cocktail, she'd say, a thorough knowledge of science. Ooh, right in the face. Yes. If you asked us, we'd say it's less about science and more about, well, chemistry.
Get a 750ml bottle of Red Hot rum and a 2-litre Coca-Cola for only $159.99 from Tops at Spar.
Take your evening well informed with Primetime News.
Thanks for tuning in. You're watching SABC News Prime. The burning land reform issue was also a point of discussion on the first day.
If you do not have a skills revolution, you will run into the kind of problems that we're having at the moment.
We have funded about 466,000 students, out of about 800,000 students that are in the university system.
South Africa says insufficient electricity and water remains one of the biggest barriers to development and prosperity on the continent.
The top 4 batsmen in the squad, Hashim Amla, Quinton de Kock, Faf du Plessis and AB de Villiers, are certainties in the starting lineup.
I really believe we cover all bases when it comes to spin bowling, seam bowling, proper pace bowling, and an amazing batting lineup.
Stay tuned every Monday to Sunday from 6 p.m.
Welcome back. In December, he was the guy who was set on marrying a girl even though he does not have any money. And oh, did we party to that song. Now it's January and definitely Asina Mali. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about right now. It's singer and songwriter Samkelo, who's popularly known as Sam Thinks Soweto. He's certainly taken the ball and ran with it. He's with us in studio to speak to us about his much anticipated #Stream Tour, which will begin on the 24th of February at the Soweto Theatre in Johannesburg. Welcome.
Hi.
So, the Shangura, do you have Mali now?
No, not as much as I should.
So,
not
2017, wow, not enough to pay lowball.
No, not yet.
Okay, no, okay, keep working. Luckily now something is coming up, right? Because I mean, now a lot of people are using your song for adverts. Right. And how's that been? I mean, 2017 was such a breakthrough year for you.
It's awesome and unexpected. The song took us by surprise. When we did the show that I'm going to do on the 24th last year, there was no Agana Mali. And at the end of the year, I was playing a lot of shows, clubs, festivals, sharing the stage with like all the big artists, which is something new for me, so it was great.
That time the song came out in 2016, but
right.
It took almost half of the year for people to catch up to it. How do you feel about like the rise and how much you do in the industry? Because you wrote so many songs for The Swirl. Do you think right now it's your time?
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's my time. And the song was recorded 2016, but only released last year in March or May, I'm not sure. Yeah, March. But yeah, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's my time. I just feel like it's a gradual step towards my goal. And my ultimate goal is to share my music with everyone and everywhere. So I find myself closer to that goal. And the Stream Tour is basically helping me with that narrative, where I found that some people want to come to my shows, but they can't because of life, right? So the stream situation would help, where when I'm performing, I take a footage of that and stream it to the world, and they can catch it on any platform that we choose, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, you know. So yeah.
So this tour, you're going to be having other artists that will be performing with you. Can you drop a couple of names for us?
I mean, the most immediate ones are my partners in crime, Tutuzi Matebula, Wafana Mlangeni and Nontsigelelo Machachi. It's on the 24th. People should show up. It's a family event. There's a 3 o'clock show and a 8 o'clock show. So.
Okay, so definitely follow it. Check it out. His updates on @somethingsoweto on Twitter. It's a goodbye from us. You're going to be playing out with what song?
We call the song Skado.
Okay, so Skado from me and the Trendz team. Ta-ta.
Zatote papa bonto tum fofo Zatum fo ma papa bonto Zatote tum tote tum po Asadum do Papo pepo do tum fo Asadum do Zatote tum fo Zatote do Hepa veto ko pa angkot ka kana Nangana wana mamita samanta Wana wana ke marata ufiti sisa Ketla les finza Wabala ufita tipa Wana wana sare hewa fisa Hema klamwana afila mara Oh Kenya piu Oh, que abuse when the fall. Oh, que abuse when the door. Oh, que abuse when the fall. Oh, when the fall. Ashman, I can hold on SABC. Some petty show. I can fit to get a love for day. And Chloe said it like oh There Tolela Pia There Untolela di Jovo And then Uncheba Hakija Hanta get us so One to side Then Unpota de pota Arabe Bombona Dimos Arabe go pota te Now I saw ya Oh,
giving you all news, following politics of the day without holding back, dishing out business news without preservations, on point with all sports. Answering all about your tomorrow's weather. Stay tuned to News at 9 every day for news around the world.